Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting episode of Boyographic, the show in which I, Matt the Gameboy, take you through the highs and lows of the Game Boy library. This week we'll be looking at a pretty unique puzzle game called Penguin Wars. Penguin Wars, or as it's called over here in Europe, King of the Zoo, is a little bit of an odd fish. For starters, it's the only one of ASCII Entertainment's 3 Game Boy games to get a worldwide release, as, unfortunately, the Wizardry series never left Japan. But this isn't what's so odd about the game. Penguin Wars sees you pick one of 5 characters: a penguin, a rabbit, a cow, a bat, and a rat, who are all competing to be King of the Zoo. What are the grounds for picking a new reigning monarch in an animal enclosure, you might ask? Well, in a game that the animals seem to have invented themselves. Said game is a mix between dodgeball, hot potato and bowling, and it's actually quite a bit of fun. Each animal starts off with 5 balls in their own court, and you play by pressing A to bowl the balls down the court of your opponent, as they do the same to you. You throw these balls back and forth either until one player has 10 in their court, or until the time runs out. And this is where the hot potato aspect comes into play, as you really don't want to be holding on to these balls for too long, so throwing them back at your enemy is the key to success. However, this is also where the dodgeball mechanic comes into play, as a well-timed shot will not only stun a player, but gives the other player a chance to get the upper hand on an opponent. However, simply bowling a ball up the court is not the only trick in your arsenal. By holding down the A button, you can unleash a charge attack that travels very fast in a straight line and keeps the opponent down for longer if it connects with them. However, when charging the attack up, you'll be left open to an attack yourself, so be careful how and when you use it. As you might imagine, each character has their own strengths and weaknesses based on speed, strength, charge and recovery. While the penguin is a good all-rounder, the rabbit has a lot of strength, but a poor charge, for example. In contrast to the rat, who's speedy and has a fast charge, but with awful strength and recovery, making him more of a choice for expert players or those looking for a challenge rather than someone looking to pick up and play the game for fun. To mix things up a little, there are also 3 obstacles that appear in the middle of the playing field. A spinner that redirects the angle of your ball, a gravitational pull that sucks the ball in and spits it out in a random direction, and finally a devil-like character that throws the ball back towards the sender. While these elements do mix things up a little, they're not really present enough in the first 2 boards to make the difficulty spike drastically. You win at King of the Zoo either by delivering all of the balls to the opponent's side of the court, or by being the player with the least amount of balls when the timer hits 0. After beating the other 4 animals and exposing the rather liberal use of the word zoo in the title, you progress to a higher level difficulty and can do this up to 10 times, where the game becomes increasingly difficult, and regardless of your character choice, you can find yourself becoming a turtle on your back at the mercy of many charge shots. While the game does have a 2-player multiplayer via link cable, there really isn't any longevity to the game. The staggered difficulty means the game can be hard to beat, but other than this increase in odds against the player, the game is essentially the same beginning to end. No new mechanics or competitors are introduced, nor are any kinds of great power-ups or special attacks to keep things interesting. It's simply the same experience against greater odds. Yeah, sure, the sprite style is okay, but it's a bit varied, and the music very forgettable, meaning that while this is not a difficult game to track down or one that's really expensive, I'd recommend passing up on Penguin Wars in favour of another game with more variety. While the gameplay is somewhat unique, the experience is very short-lived, and there's not really enough of variety in the characters to justify switching from the very well-balanced penguin, who, unsurprisingly as the game is called Penguin Wars in some territories, is the best choice to play as, and also the most difficult to beat. Get it if you're curious, but it's not something you're likely to want to re-experience after the first couple of tries. And that brings us to the end of another Boyographic, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please click the subscribe button and please share this channel with other people you think might enjoy some Game Boy loving. That's essentially what keeps the channel going, knowing that you guys like it. If there is a game that you would like to see me cover, please leave it in the comments down below and give the video a like if you like the look of Penguin Wars. Let me know what you think about the game. You can do that in the comments or on Twitter @GameBoyle. Until next week, Game Boys and Girls, game on.